Hi, this is Ernie from Samson Medical. Today I'm going to take you through the setup of the 24K new SS100 syringes. So you can now see it comes with a lure lock tip, a different piston, and this is what the back looks like. Expiry date, comes sterile, so make sure when you open this, check your expiry date. Okay, so that's how they come. Now, if I open this and drop it into the tray, there's three parts to it. There is the syringe itself, so you can now see it's a clear syringe and it's got markings on one side in terms of the measurements. You've got the syringe piston itself here, so the piston on the silver ring side, that's the side with the screw thread, and there's a filter on the other side, that's the side that goes into the piston, and then, into the syringe, and you've got a standard lure lock little plastic cap or bung. So the way to assemble this in preparation for a liposuction is to attach the piston to the smart lock. Okay, the thread side goes in and the filter side goes into the syringe body. So push that in. Now when you push it in, turn the locking mechanism so that it's 90 degrees or perpendicular to the flanges on the actual syringe itself. Okay, so you can have a look here. Now, once you push it all the way in, make sure it pushes all the way down and it's touching the locking mechanism, and turn it 90 degrees so it locks. So now this is locked, and push the button to push the plunger so the piston is all the way down as far as it can go. Now, once that's done, put your harvesting cannula on. So this cannula will come with the system and is a reusable cannula. So you can see the gold hub there. That indicates it's reusable, and it's a double Mercedes 6 holes for faster harvesting. Now, with the markers here, I also recommend switching and turning your locking mechanism around so that the button is on the same side as the marking. Because the reason is when the surgeon, is harvesting fat and they want to take it out of the patient's body to see how much fat they've got, then they can kind of hold it up, look at the marker at the same time as trying to push the plunger down. So they don't have to kind of twist their arm and look at the back. So make sure the marker's same side as the button. Now this is obviously going to be all the way down. Now this is ready to be handed over to the surgeon for fat harvesting. So the surgeon will insert this roughly halfway into the patient, and then we'll just have to pull back on the plunger. So there's no need to touch the button. Pull back, it's a one-way lock, and it's designed for that particular reason. So surgeons just needs to pull to create the suction. This is negative pressure in there now. So remember, this is in the patient. So pull it back roughly halfway, a little bit over halfway, and then they can start aspirating and start harvesting fat. As this gets full, pull it back a bit more to keep going until it's pretty much filled up. There'll be a bit of a air pocket there, a bit of a gap. And so the surgeon will have to remove it and take it out of the patient. And that's where pushing the button, pushing the plunger helps to push out the airspace, and then put it back in the patient and continue harvesting. So the aim here is to get to 50 mil, okay? So once you get to 50 mil, or once the surgeon reaches 50 mil, this syringe is pretty much full, okay? And when that gets handed back to you as the scrub nurse, so your job, first of all, is go backwards and just reverse, take off your cannula first, grab the little standard lure lock bung, put that on just hand tight, don't over tighten it, because when you centrifuge the syringe, it will tighten that a little bit more, the centrifugal force. So just put it on hand tight. Now nothing's going to leak out. Turn it upside down and undo the plunger. So what you want to do is you want to undo the plunger. Now when you undo the plunger enough and it's come loose, you should be able to pull it, and you should be able to see in there it's come loose. Once that's come loose, then you can turn it 90 degrees to unlock it. So remember, we turned it 90 degrees before to lock it. Now you unlock it. And once it's unlocked, all you got to do is gently pull it out. So this syringe is now ready to go into the centrifuge. So when you put it into the centrifuge, now if you're only using one syringe with 50 cc's of fat, to counterbalance in the centrifuge, to counterbalance this, we have the blue plastic counterbalance for you, which will also be in your tray, sterile. So these metal components you see down here that we are left with, your harvesting cannula, your smart lock, your metal plunger, and your blue balancer, plus a little lure lock to lure lock connector. All of these metal parts, except this, is going to be on your tray, all reusable and all re-sterilizable. So once you put it in the centrifuge and you spin it, the aim is to make sure you've got 50, because the weight of this balancer is pretty much the same as 50 cc's. And so that's why it's important to make sure they're the same. If the surgeon decides not to harvest the full 50 cc, or if the patient's very skinny and it's very difficult, what you can do before you disassemble it all is just to suck up some saline, sterile saline, and so you get to that 50 mark. Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. So once you put it in the centrifuge, you'll turn the centrifuge on, put it in, make sure they're diagonally opposite each other when you place them. Okay, so in the two buckets, you will see there's 3, 4, 3, 4, there's two numbers, put them on the same number. Okay, so when they're spinning, then they become balanced. Now, once it's finished spinning, it will open, the centrifuge will open, you'll be able to take this out, and you'll usually find there's a small layer of oil on top, which has come through the filter. And so the pistons, all you got to do is pour that out onto a waste pot or a little kidney dish or something like that. And then put your plunger in, screw that in, and just hand tight. And once that's screwed in, you can then remove the little bung, and there'll be some blood and tumescent waste material that you need to get rid of. You can then put that over a waste pot or a kidney dish and just gently squeeze it out. Okay. Now you don't have to worry about this being too, because this is quite stiff. So you'll be able to gently push everything out without losing anything. Now, once you've pushed that out, then that's where you get the lure lock to lure lock connector. And then now you're ready to transfer the actual remaining harvested fat into, for example, 10 cc syringes ready for adenizing. So just push it, attach a 10 cc on the other side, and literally just gently push 10 cc's of fat across till you fill it up, etc., until all the fat's gone. And so this is how much easier it is now to use this. It's very simple. So this is, remember, the only consumable part, single-use throwaway, is the actual syringe itself, including the piston and, of course, the cap. So when you finish, this all goes into the yellow bin, and the rest of this all goes back into your tray to be re-sterilized, ready for the next case. Thank you.